All right.
That's what I'm talking about. You can't let nobody else talk. He's over here stumbling over a damn acronym.
Say cow and pussy testy, motherfucker.
And he was like, "Oh, they're never be no good. They're not Kentucky or some shit like that."
I'm curious to see where all
Get prepared to do a lot of scrolling.
So it's way on down there, right?
They're way down.
And welcome back to Smacking Off the Podcast. Finally, I'm your host, Shannon Madden. I'm joined with my co-hosts, Mr. Doug Phillips. What's up, Doug?
What's going on?
And also, one Robert Dr. Balls, Arthur. What's up, homie? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you so much. I'm excited.
Live from the hills of Kentucky.
Hallelujah.
So this is our inaugural. This is our inaugural very first broadcast on College Football Dogs. We want to give them a shout out. Hey guys, thank you for having us. You're going to regret it here in probably a few minutes, particularly when we bring on a little bit later one Kenneth Ingram, who will be doing a regular segment on this show, Sharpening Iron. And Kenneth is a sorry ass Auburn fan. How we got roped into doing this, I have no idea. It's probably going to be some bullshit because it is an Auburn fan, but we're going to go along with it because the guy's got some shit to say. He's very opinionated, very spirited fella. He's got a lot of fun and interesting things to say about Auburn. And after he says all three of them, that's probably going to be the end of that segment. Hugh Freeze is the coach there. Hugh Freeze is welcome back in the SEC. Finally. And again, if you've listened to this show before our affiliation with College Football Dogs, you know that I was probably one of the very first people to beat my dick about Hugh Freeze to Auburn. Several years ago when Lane Kiffin was first being courted there. No, don't go after Lane, go after Hugh. Hugh's dying to get back in the SEC. And at that moment, the SEC probably wouldn't have let Hugh come back. But, you know, few winning seasons at Liberty and the just absolute toilet swirl of Auburn coaches and the Auburn trustee problem that they have down there has led us to a marriage made in hell.
How successful do you think?
And look, just to be fair, even though I talk a lot of shit about Auburn, I married a girl that went to Auburn, and they got some hot pussy down there. And you know Hugh Freeze walked over that campus and looked across the way there, the young girl clutching the books to her sweater, and said, you know what? Maybe I could make this work.
Now, Shannon, I got to ask you, now, do you think Hugh Freeze is out for the super hot cheerleader type, or do you think he wants the mousy girl with the glasses that's kind of studious, but everything else is all right?
But look, have you ever seen his wife? I can't stress that enough. His wife is like church hot. You know, the hot church mom, and you know she's got principles and this, that, and the other, but you give her a couple glasses of wine and, you know, you could get a little, little peck on the cheek, a little dry hump. You sure are looking wonderful tonight, Mrs. Freeze.
Hallelujah. What was you saying a while ago, Doug?
I was saying I was hearing a rumor that we're fixing to have some college football this weekend.
That's actually going down. That's the reason that you're hearing me run my mouth now, because we have taken a rather long sabbatical. Went off and explored other things and did other projects, and I don't know. It just everything. I mean, everything in my life is going good, but then here comes August.
I don't think you should have did the gay Pornhub thing, Shannon.
Are we talking about that? Can I talk about that? Can I bring that up? Am I allowed to promote my OnlyFans?
I think you should.
I'm gonna save that for later in the podcast because I feel like I'm gonna shoot my wad right here at the very beginning.
Literally or figuratively?
Well, let's see here. What time is it? I am going to have to mute in about 15 minutes. I got a private session I got to do. It's going to take like 10 minutes. Y'all can figure it out from there.
Now, bodily secretions are part of Smacking Off the podcast. And since, when we were talking about Dane earlier, right, that brought that immediately to mind.
Clemson Dane Kelly is supposed to be on this podcast with us. And for some reason or another, he is, because, Dane is a man of mystery. He has a lot of things going on in his life. And for some strange, unforeseen reason, Dane has decided to drop us like a fucking bad habit and go do things in his life.
Yeah, you shouldn't talk. You shouldn't do stuff like that if you don't want to be on Smacking Off the podcast. I mean, I know he wants to be on the show, but you shouldn't duck is because you know that we are going to talk about you. And I'm talking about you, Dane.
Dane, of course, is a Clemson fan. And anybody here want to make a wild prediction that Clemson's not going to be in the playoffs this year?
Is that what you got?
Dane's not going to be in the playoffs either. Dane is passed out right now. I guarantee it.
That boy needs to sober up. He needs some Jesus in his life. We need to send him a pamphlet or something.
Praise the Lord. So you don't believe that Clemson's going to beat Florida State?
Excuse me?
You don't think Clemson's going to beat Florida State?
Again, Florida State is always so schizophrenic, and we have a new situation down there. New coach, new things or special things are happening. Everybody's really high on it on FSU this year, and again, I have they earned it?
No.
Is this gonna be a repeat? What Doug refresh my memory? What was the year that Alabama opened with FSU 1-2?
Oh, and yeah, that
was what was that 18, 19? What season was that? Had somebody help me? I'm
gonna say that was 2017.
Yeah. And we saw how that turned out. And again, different whole entire different situation going on. Whatever happened to that guy?
The hell I know.
It seems like that people are eager for these teams to get better, that ones that's been historically good, even if it's been a long time ago, and they're always talking about their back, and they want it so bad that the posters believe they can wish it to existence. And I don't believe the posters can wish it into existence. Nothing really to me has changed in the top tiers of college football from last year, in my opinion. Well,
I'm glad you brought that up, Bob, because everybody is breaking down the top 25. Fuck the top 25. There's 15 teams in that top 25 that ain't nobody fucking interested in. Always.
Yeah.
But let's look at that top 10. And Bob had compiled a list earlier this week, and we discussed this. And out of the top 10 teams, he was not high on 5 of them, and feels that 5 of them have a good shot of not making the top 10 this year at the conclusion of the season.
We can start right out of the gate with Washington. I mean, come on, really.
Yeah. Well, Washington, what's that?
Yeah, the Washington thing I don't get.
I think Washington's better than people expect, and I know Bruce Martinez in particular is high on him, right? And but really, I think
where does he live again? Where does Bruce Martinez live again?
He lives in Tacoma.
Okay, that's in the state of Washington. Outside of the state of Washington, who is really making any expectation of any team out that direction right now, particularly with the Pac-12 being hollowed out?
Well, that's my whole point. When I'm more talking about USC.
The Pac teams that are left, even though everybody's running for the hills and joining up conferences, the Pac teams that are left are pretty much playing in the Mountain West, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
With the exception of USC, obviously, but I mean, do I really honestly believe that Cal's going to give Auburn, even though this is a brand new Auburn team with a brand new Auburn coach? Do I really think that team is going to give Auburn any problems whatsoever?
I don't think so. But Cal's supposed to be a lot better, and I think that Washington is a lot better, and I think Washington is more based in power football than USC is. And they'll have the ability to control the clock against USC. And frankly, USC is my top team of teams that will fall out of the top 5, right? And they're just making expectations based on the performance of Caleb Williams last year. But Caleb Williams' performance was against subpar competition, just as we've been saying. And when he had a chance in the bowl game, he laid an egg. So I really don't see. Heck, I think that UCLA is going to upset him. I think USC can have as many as 3 losses. So they're my number one team of not
But I
necessarily.
will say this though. USC has rebounded quite nicely. They still have Lincoln Riley as head coach, and I absolutely love Lincoln Riley. I love what he was able to put together at Oklahoma, and he came out swinging at USC. That was definitely not a disappointing finish, and I can understand why the expectations are high. Having said all of that, this is pretty much where Lincoln Riley is going to be able to cement his legacy. And if he limps into the final, yeah, exactly. And if he limps into the end of the season with 8 or 9 wins, which is respectable, still, it's not going to be what they're paying him all that money for. And it's really, really, really it's going to disrupt his overall legacy as arguably one of the top 5 coaches active right now.
And I agree with you 100%. And here's why that I think that they'll probably fall out of the top 10. And if they go to the CFP at all, they'll lose because they'll be comfortable beating the teams from the Pac-12 with no defense. And he kept Alex Grinch, and he can't coach defense. And historically, Riley hasn't paid the attention to defense that he should. So if he does get in the CFP and he's playing Georgia or Alabama, right, who I believe both could be in the CFP, right, then I don't believe he hasn't seen a defense. And he don't have a defense. So, therefore, any national championship aspirations for USC, I believe, are impossible.
Clemson. Let's talk about it for a minute. Let's talk about that creamy, fluffy schedule they got there of Duke, Charleston, Florida Atlantic. They do have FSU, and then it's off to Syracuse, which is a team that has given them problems in the past. Wake Forest, a team that has given them problems in the past. Miami, no more turnover chain there. NC State, a team that has given them problems in the past. Notre Dame, let's go ahead and fast forward all the way to November 4th. Where is Clemson undefeated going into this game? Yes or no?
I don't think so. But I also believe they're going to beat Florida State and probably lose to Wake Forest.
So right? Florida State, in your eyes, is not there again. And maybe we're jumping ahead, but since they're already entered the conversation, let's do it. Let's hash it out.
They're one of my 5 teams in the list, and the reason why is I have no doubts they're going to lose to LSU. Right? LSU is superior on both sides of the ball in terms of talent, except the quarterback. And the quarterback at Florida State's mildly overrated with the big numbers he put up in the ACC. And I believe Brian Kelly, his second year, will have cemented what he does with better talent at LSU. And I think they're going to win a game in the old LSU fashion and run all over them, right? Control the clock and win the game defensively. That'll be the first loss. And then the second loss for Florida State will be Clemson. So I believe that they'll be out of the top 10 by the 4th week, Florida State.
So Clemson marches into November 4th, Notre Dame, into that game undefeated.
Yeah, I really believe that.
Because really, up until then, I don't see any team that's going to give them any problem. Again, Syracuse is always so schizophrenic. You never know which team is going to show up for them. So this is a way too early prediction, obviously.
But Syracuse, though, I enjoy watching them play Syracuse, but for some reason, the things that makes Dabo good as a coach seem to break down in that game. That they were even unable to get calls in the game last year at the right times, it just seems like everything breaks down when they play Syracuse, as if they forgot what their scheme is. But they've got a lot more talent than Syracuse, but Babers has out-coached him, in my opinion. So, and then the number 3 on my list. Well, I got to talk about Michigan, right? Now, Michigan, their schedule isn't that tough, but they could drop games. I think they'll most likely lose to Ohio State. They could drop a game against Michigan. They could drop a game against Penn State. But the truth of it is, Michigan's bringing almost everything back. The 3 games that Harbaugh is out are all against cupcakes. Then they play Rutgers. I don't think that's a big challenge for them. I just hate Michigan, so I'm going to say they're going to fall out of the top 10. Right?
You know, I think if they do, they're going to ride all the way until the end of the season.
Oh yeah, that's the way their schedule sets up. So they won't fall out of the top 10 until the last week. So, and that's basically what it is. And they'll put a lot of hype on them and stuff. So it's always so in Florida State's case, it's always better to lose those games early, but they'd fall out of the top 10 and then come back. But unfortunately, if you lose 2 games in a 4-team CFP, it's unlikely to put you in. So in Michigan's case, I think they'll lose 2 games. So therefore, they'll be out of the CFP and most likely out of the top 10 because there's always another team that comes up, just like we've been talking about Auburn. I mean, I don't know how fast actually I do, having watched him at Ole Miss. I was amazed at how fast that he was able to get a team together and doing what he wanted. Now, were they a great team initially? No. They had decent talent, but he was able to mold them and have them ready early, right? So I think he can do it again. But in the case of Michigan, I don't believe Jim Harbaugh's that coach. He's a charismatic coach, and he recruits some of the best players that will go to a northern state to play. And he even gets a few players out of Florida and Georgia and stuff, and that's great recruiting, right? But you know, you can't always win on recruiting, and I just don't think that he's a game coach, and that they'll stumble. I really believe they'll stumble, but like I said, I'm biased. I hate Michigan, right? I'm tired of hearing about a team that's won one national championship in my life. I mean, we just go on and on and on about these guys and their meaningless matchups, and so I'm very satisfied when I watch Michigan lose.
Booger Harbaugh. He will always, in my eyes, be Booger Harbaugh.
Hey guys, let's try this commercial break thing, and we'll be right back in a minute.
Excellent.
Boy, that's mediocre.
Then what the f are you doing?
I was drinking that.
No, you were surviving it. Give excitement a try with Bones Coffee. Click on the link below to order some for yourself.
Here.
Whoa is right. That substance you were sipping before is what we in the industry refer to as ass water. Sure, it technically has caffeine, but at Bones Coffee, we believe in the experience of waking up every morning looking forward to that first tasty cup. That's why we roast carefully selected beans in small batches to perfection, so you can count on quality in every cup. And not only that, Bones has a ton of fabulous flavors from which to choose.
Hey, did someone mention flavors? Highland Greg, pleasure to meet you.
What'll it be, Greg?
You know, I've been hankering for the spiced rum flavor of Highland Grove, please.
Greg, I'm surprised by the size of your bagpipe.
Ugh, it's not the size of the bagpipe that matters, laddie.
Yeah, it's how hard you blow it.
Yeah, let's leave the talking to me.
Oh, gee, I just got back from chasing some hosers out of the grilling rink. I could go for some maple bacon coffee right about noon.
Coming right up.
Hey kid, you single?
Yeah.
That's why this place looks like
Here you are, my salty siren.
Thanks. I need the salted caramel chocolate pick-me-up after dealing with this loser.
How in the world are all these people getting in here?
We just walked in. Click on the link below to stop drinking water and get yourself Bones Coffee today. Or maybe you don't want to click on the link below because you think, flavored coffee's not for me. That was Sarah G's experience. She says, usually flavored coffees taste chemically to me, but these do not. They have a really pleasant aroma and flavor. They do not leave that weird residue on the bottom of your mug like many flavored coffees do. And Cheryl S. says, I ordered this for my son's GF for a B-day. She loves it. Why, Cheryl, that's awfully nice of you. Unfortunately, they broke up and I can't return it. Frowny face. Well, that's awkward. At least she liked it, though. Stop settling for mediocrity and order Bones Coffee today.
All right. Looking over Texas's schedule, just outside the top 10. Can we talk about that for a quick moment?
Well, they're on my list. I'd love to talk about it. What are you thinking?
Because really, I can't think anything about Texas until I see them play Alabama, and I think the rest of the world is kind of on that same train of thought, unless you're a Texas fan, obviously, horns down.
Oh, I agree 100%. And I actually believe that Alabama's still going to out-talent them. I mean, even though the quarterback situation at Alabama to outsiders seems like it's unresolved, to me, in my opinion, it's right up Nick Saban's bag of tricks. You don't know what he's going to do. You don't even know if he's going to mix them up. You don't have no idea if you're Texas what Nick Saban's going to do. Can you imagine not having no idea what Nick Saban is going to do? Right.
And here's the other problem is that we don't know how he's going to do it with what personnel, at least on the offensive side of the ball. Now, we can always expect an ironclad defense, or at least most of the time, from Nick Saban's squads. That defensive coordinator that he has, he looked familiar.
Oh yeah, and he's pretty good, and I just don't think there's no way with the talent.
I used to see him on the other side of the sideline.
Oh, you talking about at Texas? What's his name again? I know I should know this.
No, I'm talking about Nick's new defensive coordinator.
Oh yeah. Well, they say he's good, but I've heard a lot of people on the Alabama pages complain. They say he don't like him. What's their deal with him?
I mean, that's not me. I have nothing to do with that. I absolutely love the man because he works for the greatest employer in the world, Nicholas Saban.
So whatever decisions that Nick Saban makes in terms of football, whether it's coaches, whether it's bringing people in that's been downtrodden and remaking them as coaches or whatever, I mean, they're the right decision, right? Now, it's great that Georgia had a pretty good 2-year run right there, but they haven't passed Nick Saban. I mean, and I have no doubts that the defense for Alabama is going to again stifle Texas. And I believed in the last year in the Big 12 that people were underrating Oklahoma. So Oklahoma, you come in, your Brett Venables, you come into the program, and even though the covers weren't bare, they obviously
who is Brent Venables? I mean, really, did you get a good sense of him as a head coach last season?
Yeah, I did. I had a sense that he was trying to fit square pegs.
Because he inherited an absolute mess of a program, right?
No, he inherited a great program, but it was one style.
Dude, you couldn't have been given keys to a much more luxurious college football program at that point.
Right, hell, I'd call him a Ferrari, right? But I don't think that he wanted to coach that up-tempo style that Oklahoma had been using, and that those guys
that saved their ass in quite a few games, I might add.
Yes. So I think he's going to try it his way, and we're not sure what it is, but I don't think it's the same thing that Lincoln Riley did. I don't think he's going to continue the same run-and-gun style, and I think that whatever he does, he knows that his job, he's got to beat Texas, so I'm counting on him to do it. And shout out to Tim Bailey. I'm picking Oklahoma over Texas. And that's reason number 2. I believe they'll fall out of the top 10. I believe they're going to lose.
Down. Are we allowed? Are we sanctioned by the NCAA? Or we're going to get like NCAA sanctions if we do a horns down on the show?
I'm going to do it. Can we do horns
down? Doug, can you call our lawyer real quick? Because I really don't want to get us in any more trouble than we're already
in. Times are tough right now. We're using the AI lawyer right now, and I have to get on my PC to do that.
I'll send you I'm going to send you a link to the Cinco e-trial. Did you ever watch Tim and Eric?
Yes.
You'll like Cinco e-trial. That's a Tim and Eric thing. It's pretty funny. Now, Bob, rewinding just a bit. Now, you know that Alabama's defensive coordinator was Auburn's defensive coordinator just recently, correct? Was actually for a hot moment looked like he could be poised to be Auburn's head coach.
So the problem is I had a brain fart and I couldn't remember his name.
Kevin Steele.
Kevin Steele, that's right. So he was a decent defensive coordinator at Auburn.
He is an amazing defensive coordinator, particularly what he was given to work with over there.
Oh yeah, and And Auburn's done a lot with a little over the last few years. A lot of people don't get that, right? Because they're not as successful as people would like them to be.
And they let him go. I mean, again, he had gotten the ear of some rather, and of course Kenneth Ingram, who will be on later. We can talk to him about this, quiz him about this for a moment. But he had earned the favor of some of the, well, not as prominent trustees, and there was a small group of them that were really lobbying hard to make Kevin Steele their head coach. It was probably the same crowd that wanted Cadillac to be the head coach there for a minute too.
Yeah,
and luckily they came to their senses and they're where they are now. But in the process, Kevin Steele slid over from Auburn to Alabama, which historically, that is a really, really, really big deal to go from one side to the other. That's why Pat Dye was so popular down there, because he kind of had defected from the Alabama camp, but was bringing a lot of that knowledge of Bear Bryant's style of coaching to Auburn.
Well, that's what people feel about Kirby Smart, right? But back to Hugh Freeze, I believe
Kirby
Hugh
Smart. Fuck you. Oh man.
But Hugh Freeze, back to him, I do like him.
Who wears a visor anymore? I mean, seriously, other than Tiger Woods, who really wears a visor anymore? He needs to drop that look. Now Lane Kiffin can pull off the visor. Kirby Smart, it looks stupid on him. He just needs to take it off, and he just needs to wear a suit and tie everywhere he goes.
Oh yeah,
and make it a funny tie, some boring ass suit with a funny tie. That's and look, you can go ahead and tag Kirby Smart right now and let him know that somebody else needs to dress his monkey ass.
So should it be like Bozo the Clown with the big shoes and everything?
It might as well be.
I'd like that. Can we make that graphic, Doug? Of Kirby Smart with Bozo the Clown?
Doug can make any graphic that you throw at him, give him the right amount of time and some good source material.
So if Georgia loses to Alabama in either the SEC championship or in the Natty
they should.
Right. So we got to post a picture of Kirby Smart with his goofy ass visor on, some Bozo the Clown hair, and his big ass shoes. You know what I'm saying?
I'm down. I'm down with it.
I am too.
I love that image. I have that image in my mind, and when I go to bed, right before I go to bed, right before I have to toss it, I'm gonna start with that image in my mind, and I'm gonna start tossing it to that image.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk smack about it. Now here. Let's talk smack about the last team in the top of the 5 that I feel is gonna fall down the top 10. And so, if you look at the top 25, you're telling me that Michigan, Penn State, and Ohio State are all good. Fair enough. Maybe they're all good. So I look at those teams, and I look that they pretty much have to play each other. And I know that Michigan and Penn State have a big date with Destiny near the end. Ohio State, Michigan have a big date with Destiny near the end, and so forth, right? So they're going to play each other, right? So mathematically, one of them has to fall in the top 10 no matter what. So if you're thinking about that, you're thinking, so who are the coaches in this? Well, you got Ryan Day. He seems to be a decent coach. He wears makeup, so he's a confident guy, right? So, and you can tell.
that is a wonderful observation. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you ever notice when he's in the press conference, they show his picture how rosy his cheeks is and stuff, right? I mean, they're bright.
He's a pretty man. He is a pretty man. He is Urban Meyer pretty when he puts that makeup on. For daddy.
So he can't lose. He's not going to lose Penn State. Right? So, and then you got Michigan and Penn State are playing. So right there, that's 2 games that Penn State can lose. Now, their coach is a great recruiter, and he did a good job at Vanderbilt. Mr. Franklin did a great job at Vanderbilt considering what he inherited. But there seems to be a ceiling to what he can accomplish, even with good recruiting. And the recruiting is great. But it's not the same recruiting as Ohio State, and it's not the same recruiting as Michigan. So
what are they paying this guy? It's way on up there.
Too much.
Oh yeah, that's right. He had at the time he signed. I don't remember what the numbers were, but I remember at the time he signed, wasn't he briefly the highest paid coach? And then right 2 months later, Saban extended, and they made him the highest paid coach. That's what I remember.
Well, they have to. That's the power of having a smart agent. So, the same agent as every single, just about every other top 10, top 15 coach and working right now. Jimmy Sexton, shout out.
I'm not sure about that, but exactly if he was ahead of Saban or not. But I will tell you that he is definitely making more money per win than any coach in the fucking country.
Oh yeah, no, Mark.
What is he? I mean, is he an 8 or 9 win average?
No, we got to check that one because I believe that Mark Stoops is getting the most dollar per win, right? Because he keeps extending at Kentucky, and his numbers are right underneath the top tier of coaches in the SEC. And I'm betting if it was a per capita measurement, that Mark Stoops would be the highest paid coach probably in the country per win, right? And if you go SEC wins, he's definitely the highest paid coach in the SEC because all we've done is break even, right?
Yeah.
And they and last year, what was it, 3-5 in the conference? So that's 3 SEC wins for a top tier paid coach, even though based on what happened before he got at Kentucky, he has done a superlative job. I do support him, but I've got to say, in terms of money per win, I think Mark Stoops is overpaid.
I don't know. Kentucky is. I mean, Kentucky is definitely not your average job.
No, it's not your average job. It's a tough job. It's a tough job, and you got to compete with the other program, obviously, for attention. But now we love him more than we love Calipari. A lot of people outside of Kentucky don't realize that.
Oh, man. No. There's a lot of people outside of Kentucky that have heard the grumblings about Calipari. Trust me.
Oh, yeah. And we love Mark Stoops. We don't want him to leave. And we know that he's got a solid plan. And all it takes is a couple magic recruits on the skill position level. And we think we have those guys. We had them last year, but we didn't have a quarterback to throw to them. And we think we have those guys, but I'm not going to predict no more crazy shit for Kentucky. I'm just going to watch it unfold. But if we have to have a transcendent offensive player to move forward, and I haven't seen that at Kentucky. So we're at a level where we can play with anybody and win some games, even ones we should, but not at a win to compete for the SEC championship. But we are at a level where we could be second or third in the East for Kentucky. But for Kentucky, that's good. But still, you have to say, even at second and third in the East, the money Mark Stoops is making is per win is out of hand, really. And I don't.
If you could talk to your friends over at the University of Kentucky and see to that they stick it up Josh Heupel's record.
Well, let's talk about
this
that
season. That would be awesome. Actually, I would really. As an Alabama fan, I think y'all at least owe us that. We have tried to keep y'all relevant this whole time y'all been alive. Basketball programs have been kicking ass, but I mean, look, you guys owe us. You owe us this. You saw what they fucking stole from us last year. They stole from us.
No, Bryce Young failed you guys. I mean, nobody wants to talk about it, but at the end of the game, win or lose versus Tennessee,
he didn't fail. Look at his overall numbers in that game. Come on now, he did the very best he could. That wasn't. There was a team effort there, and there was a shit ton of red flags, if I remember correct.
That is true, but there was
red flags. They weren't yellow; they were red, all over the place. Stop, Alabama! Just stop being excellent. Let Tennessee do it for once. That was some bullshit.
I hate Tennessee. That game killed me. Right, that's why I remember it so vividly.
It killed you. Oh man, you can imagine how I felt at the end of that game.
He threw it the dirt.
I didn't even toss it that night. I didn't even toss it.
But on fourth down, he threw it in the dirt thinking there should be a flag, just like you're saying, right? So right then, one of his linemen's laying on his back, and Bryce Young throws it in the dirt on fourth down. And
Can we not talk about this anymore? Kentucky's
going to beat Tennessee this year, Doug.
Thank you. That's what I need to hear.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Tennessee losing a game. That's what we need to focus on right now because we went way off on the other thing, and I don't want to talk about that other thing no more. We need to keep it on Kentucky whooping Tennessee's ass. Go.
Absolutely. They're going to beat Tennessee for sure. It's 2 years ago when Kentucky had a line. They took them to the end, and we got fucked with the flag. And that was at Tennessee. It was like 41-43 or something like that. And they screwed us at the end. And that's when we had a line. But we had no quarterback. We had a gunslinger, but not a quarterback. Well, last year they had no line. Without no line, Will Levis, who wasn't really that great, sucked. But now we got a decent quarterback. I believe we can score with Tennessee. 2 freshman All-American at wide receiver. We've got a proven quarterback from NC State, Devin Leary. And then we got on defense, we got a freshman All-American and a returning second-team All-SEC linebacker. I mean, you've seen the linebackers in Kentucky. Our 3-4 defense is hell, dudes. Kentucky has been in the top 3 in defense in the SEC for about the last, 7 or 8 years? All they have to do is score a little bit. and their ball team. If they score a lot with Lynn Cohen back as the offensive coordinator, they beat Tennessee. They're going to beat Tennessee. They're going to beat Florida, right? They're going to give Georgia a game. And by the way, we're the only ones that have done that in the last 5 years. And they could even beat Georgia. I'd love to see that, but it's not going to happen. But I'm going to say they're going to beat Georgia because it's entertaining.
So tell me, I haven't even football's kind of blindsided me this year. You know, us being within the weekend of actually watching some college football. But who the fuck is playing on Saturday, and is it even worth me turning the TV?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of turds. God.
So is there
the highlight of the day, Notre Dame and Navy?
Bama's playing Mercer.
Oh.
Who is?
So me, it's Notre Dame.
Isn't it Bama or who's playing Mercer? I think, isn't it Bama playing Mercer or is it Auburn? Somebody's playing Mercer. Mercer's always that's always a great opening game for any respectable team.
If you love football, the real highlight is going to be Ohio, the Ohio Bobcats is, not Ohio State. It's going to be the Ohio Bobcats at San Diego State, right? And it's, believe it or not, Ohio is a pretty good team in their little world. And I think we're going to have a Marshall-style upset, right? That's going to be the only competitive game. I mean, you look at it, Navy versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame's going to crash them. San Jose State at USC, they just lined up a cupcake. Hawaii at Vanderbilt is actually good by their standards, so they should win that game easily. And then UTEP at Jacksonville State. I mean, Prime is gone. Why are they even showing that game, right? FIU at Louisiana Tech. I got to watch out on pure principle, right? I like Louisiana Tech. I don't know why, but I keep waiting to see women basketball players go out there that are sexy, right? So I love Louisiana.
It's Ole Miss. Ole Miss is the one playing Mercer. Sorry, y'all. Didn't mean to interrupt. I knew somebody was playing Mercer week 1. Lane Kiffin, my boy.
Oh yeah.
Well guys, let's go ahead and do our second commercial break, and when we come back, we might have Kenneth with us with any luck, right?
John, you got a portable air conditioner that can be used anywhere. It blew my mind. Where were you several years ago when I was playing select baseball, man, in the scorching heat in Texas? Right. Tell us how it works.
It's a true portable air conditioner. Here's the big deal. So in Florida, South Texas, humidity, you can't make a swamp cooler work. There's already moisture in the air. Right. This is a true air conditioner. It actually pulls the moisture out of the air. So this thing, you can run it off a battery. Mm-hmm. You can run it off a 12-volt cord, off a 110, but this is what makes it unique.
How long does that battery last then?
6.5 hours on a single charge.
6.5 hours.
The great thing about it is you can use them indoors, outdoors. You can put it right in the tent with you. The idea is to be extremely portable. This thing is light.
It is light. I love the colors, by the way.
It works perfect for the new CU partnership.
That's right. Can you tell me about not just the innovation, but why?
A lot of your athletes, the people that like the U.S. Open, Australian Open, the Olympics, the athletes that are using these, it helps them get that one more rep. You're just dragging. You got the catcher back there just wore out.
Yeah. It's to me, it's revolutionary because not only how it works, but the price point of $289.
It functions as a normal cooler too. If you look on the inside, you just put ice in it. This is a 38 quart cooler, so you can throw your drinks in it, your food. But what makes it special is the patented heat exchanger coil system here.
Okay.
So the water is running through this coil system. The air runs across it. This thing is ice cold.
Pay attention to us. Do not look at Garner, all right? Garner's just having his own little game over here. Focus on us.
So when the air goes across this thing, it rapidly cools the air. The moisture sticks on there just like your car. You know, it's always dripping water out from underneath. This does the same thing. So, but it drips back inside the cooler, so there's no water dripping on the ground.
Wow.
So this is all self-contained. There's no exhaust. There's no condensation. It's literally turn it off and turn it on. And it doesn't take 20, 30 minutes to start cooling up. When you turn the power on,
it's going.
It's instant.
It's ready.
And it's blowing.
Made in the USA.
Yeah. Lifetime warranty.
Lifetime warranty. Show us how it works.
You've got on and off button.
Right.
It's got a low, medium, and high.
So you mean to tell me I could line a few of these up on the sideline and cool the kids off?
Absolutely. And we have a dual AC splitter. It's all modular, snaps on. You can take these flex tubes.
That's what I'm talking about.
And connect them out like right here.
Right.
As far as that will snap in. You can actually take that and line these and have them blowing.
So
right
I
on your
could cool off the guy that just made a big play.
Yep.
And turn it off from the guy that gave up a big play. That's what you're saying.
That's right.
Oh, I got that. I like that. I like
That's
that.
right. Our battery, you can take these things, snap it on. Now you can take this anywhere you go, and this will charge your phone for about 6 days. You can plug the 12-volt cord into your cigarette lighter and charge your battery off of that if you don't have a 110 to be able to plug it on the normal charger. And we've got all different kinds of stuff, like an 8-foot corded remotes. So that way when you're on, like if the Gator, when you're out working with the kids out on the field, you can cut it on and off.
So I could just throw this on the back of the golf cart and connect one of these, and I'm cool.
At the end of the day, you dump the ice or water out of it, you throw all your components and stuff back in, and you wheel it back out to the car. So
This
you
is
just
unbelievable, man.
take it anywhere.
You got to be proud of this.
It's a quality product. Usually we do the lifetime warranty. It works. When I say hard and cold as an AC vent in your car, blowing on
No,
high,
you
it's
showed
hard.
me.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time you came, I was like, you got to be kidding me. And I love it. That's why we're here now. This right here is unbelievable. I can't wait for the public to get a hold of this thing and say, dang, I like it, man. I think we hit all our points.
Yeah, we sure did.
And we don't have to make this stuff up because it's authentic.
Right. Coach, I appreciate
you, man.
Sharpening iron with Kenneth Ingram.
There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. One Kenny Ingram. What up?
What up, Sandy? What up, Dr. Ball?
Just sitting there smacking off.
I'm waiting on Hunter because I'm telling y'all sit back and watch this one. I'm fixing to put Hunter in his place tonight. We're going to end the conversation. It's over with after tonight. It's over. I'm tired of having it with him. I have facts in front of me.
Facts.
You can't.
What? Now wait a minute. Now you can't just barge up in here, just swinging your dick around and knocking the lamp over. What's it now? What is this all about? What's going on, Kenny? This is the very first time that we've had Kenny on the show. We've actually got a chance to know Kenny off the air. Kenny also has his own podcast here on College Football Dogs, and apparently he has something to say to the president, one Hunter. Where is Mr. Hunter at?
Yes.
Right here.
Okay, so what we're going to discuss tonight.
Now, wait. Before you're still swinging your dick. Hunter, do me a favor because I'm a dumb guy from Alabama. Pronounce your last name for me so I don't fuck it up.
It's Dworsky.
Dworsky. Now that's what I thought it was, but everybody gets really sensitive if you fuck their name up. So.
Oh, no, I'm not a traditional California person.
What part of California? North or south? You're down in LA, right?
If you guys see the background here, I'm in Los Angeles, California.
You are all up in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
Mr. Hollywood over here.
I'm in. Actually, you can't see it. The Hollywood sign is right here, and the mountains behind me. But I'm in. I'm on the 20th floor here in downtown Los Angeles.
Now, Hunter, I'm gonna tell you something funny. If you look over there on that hill where the Hollywood sign is, my cousin lives up on that hill. My cousin was the no shit. My cousin, twin cousins, Benji and Joel Madden from the band Good Charlotte. Those are my Aunt Robin's kids.
You sure it's not Crackhead Joe that lives in a tent over there, is it?
No. I can promise you there's no. They may have a little small tent for their children in the backyard, but no, they ain't living in no tent. He's the one that's married to Nicole Richie, and of course his brother Benji is married to Cameron Diaz. So Cameron Diaz is in my family tree now.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and neither one of them invited me to their wedding, so fuck them.
That's a shame. Big ass. It's probably about $400,000 wedding or more.
Oh no! It was a lot more, man. We're talking about Cameron Diaz, man. She was in something about Mary. Remember that? We all jerked off to that movie. She was hot. She still is hot.
Not me, because I'm gay.
But and she well, I mean, she's hot to me. Now her husband, he's an attractive man, wouldn't you say?
I'm more into college age people.
Are you into twinks? Are you a twink guy?
I am actually. I am. Yeah.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. All you LA guys are the same.
my husband's a twink, and he's actually a dancer out here in Los Angeles. For part of the reason, so I actually worked for Donald Trump before I moved out here. So
Oh wow.
and then we met each other in Washington D.C. and then we moved out here to L.A. And that's why I'm out here in L.A. because he's a dancer. So.
That's wild, man. That's a way more interesting story than I had.
Oh yeah. Where'd you meet yours, on Tinder?
No, we're in Alabama. That's all down low bros around here.
There you go.
Damn right.
Speaking of down low bro, Kenny, what's up, man?
So I want to end something tonight. I'm tired of Hunter telling me that 2004 USC.
Hey, what's all that shit all over the background? Right behind you, there's like a bunch of a big pile of shit on the background. What is that?
Shannon, that I want to hear nothing about your shit. I think your A. I think we put your A in the trash can when we put Cam Newton's jersey on Paul Brett Bryant. We shut that shit up, son. I don't want to hear nothing about it, bro.
You want me to fuck around, Kenny? Look at this.
That one time, yeah, I remember that.
Hey, Kenny, this is the 2000.
Oh no! Put that ring up. I don't want to see that ugliness.
You don't have a trophy because you guys. Let me tell you the truth. You went.
Hunter, listen. No, you hush and listen. It's the time I shut you up once and for all about 2004 USC. Auburn had more rushing yards, more yards.
What, 20 years ago? We're talking about 20 years ago.
Kenny,
Wow.
I gotta ask something. Kenny, you have to be grateful that Auburn didn't end up playing at USC that year, because now y'all can sit and talk about what could have been, but y'all would have knew what was going to. You would have knew what it was if you would have played USC.
So would that have been one cheater versus another? USC versus Auburn? Would that have been one set of cheaters versus another?
Yeah, you're right. But listen,
Kenneth can't deal with the fact
year.
Listen,
It's not cheating anymore.
listen.
That
Kenny
year, Auburn had more rushing yards, less attempts, more yards per attempt, all of that than USC. That crap Hunter's talking about Reggie Bush, that's bull crap. Auburn would have beat them. We ain't gonna get beat no 66-19. That's bullshit.
Let's hope not.
All right, so let me just say this. This is what he doesn't want to hear. So USC played Auburn in 03, and we shut you out.
Without Cadillac, without Ronnie Brown.
Listen, I let you rant. That's my turn. We went, and we beat you 23-0 in Jordan-Hare Stadium. We beat your ass.
That happened.
You were supposed to come out for Los
without the
Angeles.
running back. We're discussing Reggie Bush versus Cadillac Williams and Ronnie Brown. That is the discussion. He would have not advanced that shit on the SEC defense.
I remember Ronnie
We're
Brown.
proving that year in and year fucking out, Hunter.
Doug, you don't want to hear this because this is what.
Yes, we have.
You don't want to hear what I'm about to say.
Yes, we have. Every SEC defense has shut down every other running back in college football.
So let me finish.
You cannot argue that.
Let me finish.
Come on.
Pete Carroll scheduled a back-to-back header with Auburn. We were going to go home, which we did, and then you were going to come to LA. You know what you did after this end of the season? You threw us off your schedule and replaced it with the Citadel because this is rightfully ours.
Oh God, I'm gonna cry.
You're running from it. You're running from it.
We're running from 19 years
the
ago.
Conversation of Reggie Bush versus Cadillac
19
and Ronnie
years
Brown.
ago.
But wouldn't
You're
the
running
Citadel
from it,
be
Hunter.
Man.
commercial?
No, this Shannon, you don't understand. This is a debate. Shannon, I hear this crap in my chat every day from Hunter. We're squashing it tonight. He knows for a fact that every SEC defense has shut down every other running back in college football. Every
Okay,
year.
Kenny. Let's Kenny. Come on, let's shift gears just for a second because we're talking about some shit like a long time ago, right? Let us focus on where Auburn is right now because Auburn has, it's not quite USC, but Auburn has a early season game with Cal, and I believe is Auburn's traveling for that game, are they not?
Yeah,
They
we're going
are.
to Cal, and we're
Here's the
going to
thing,
beat Cal. And I'll tell you why we beat Cal. Everybody is counting out Jarquez Hunter. He took a 1-game suspension for making a porn video. Every kid in college has sex. I mean, it is what it is. Unless it doesn't.
Man, you Auburn guys and sex issues, man. You know, Auburn, this was like 10 years ago. There was an Auburn professor actually got busted making GHB on site, on campus. And there was like a rash of it here all over the South, and that's where it was coming from, Auburn. Go ahead.
Well, what I'm saying
is
he takes a
Kenny,
1-game suspension against UMass.
Kenny, listen. It's not your fault. You don't, and the reason you don't know football, it's obvious why. Because Auburn has only won
Oh, shit.
2 to 3 national championships. I mean, and then your big brother has pretty much molested you the last fucking 40 years over there at Auburn. Alabama owns Auburn. Period. And
Alabama owned Auburn before 2000. Since 2000, we have more wins against Alabama than they do us.
And
we ran 7 in a row off on them. Ask Shannon about that. Ask Shannon about that.
6 in a row.
Mike Years. Never forget Mike Years. Hashtag never forget.
Mike Shula is
I'm
awful.
just saying, Shannon.
And now the coach that was able to do that actually is a U.S. senator now. Can you believe that? He's the reason that nobody's getting a promotion in the military.
I mean, I think it was a great run, but it was a 6 game run, not 7.
Okay, 6-game run, Dr. Ball.
All
But
right.
we still have 1 win since 2000. Since Hunter wants to run his mouth talking about this day and era, Auburn has more wins against Alabama since 2000 than Alabama has against us.
Dude, you're no different than Notre Dame. You're a lost cause.
They don't own us. The only thing, every year they won it. If you go back to their national championship years, a couple of them years they lost to us.
What's your head-to-head record versus Vanderbilt?
21-3. What's your record versus Vanderbilt? Huh? You got a losing record. At least I got a tie record. You got a losing record, buddy.
Hey man, USC has more wins against Auburn than the amount of teeth that you have in your mouth, dude. Just take it as it is.
Oh shit!
Jeez.
Hold on. Vanderbilt's got more wins against you than. Never mind. I ain't gonna say that. There might be some little kids watching, but I was about to bust on it.
Well, here on Smacking Off the Codcast, we would love to entertain everybody, but really our audience is primarily a little older than that. If the little kids get on it, I hope we don't.
Hunter,
I'm taking a leak right now, and I'm holding my dick in my hand.
Hey, and I just want y'all to know, Shannon's got to drink a cup. Shannon's got to drink a whole cup, an 8-ounce cup of his pee this year on live. He can't hide his face.
What we're going to drink here is bone coffee, right? Dr. Paul requires.
Yeah.
Right.
Dr. Balls says promo code DOGBONE, 10% off your order on www.
Only y'all old people drink coffee.
That's because we drunk so much that we already know there's no mystery behind it. I've partied, I'm drunk, I've done drugs, I've done all that shit. Now it's coffee.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. There's a whole lot less trouble, guys.
So does Auburn play this weekend? I have no freaking clue.
No, we don't.
Who cares?
No, we play September 2nd, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's next weekend. Like the FSU LSU game is next week. What do you think about that, Kenneth? FSU LSU. Who you got?
I got LSU.
I got LSU too. I think it's going to be a good game.
Let me ask you one that's happening this weekend. Navy and Notre Dame in Ireland. Who do you got?
I actually have Navy beating Notre Dame this weekend in an upset.
I have Navy. Who do you have, Shannon and Dr. Boss?
I've got the Catholics. The Catholics and Protestants have been playing over there for a while, and I don't know, man.
Navy has beaten Notre Dame once, I think.
No,
it ain't happening again.
Hey man,
yeah, that's where I'm at.
It's happening. It's happening this weekend.
Notre Dame is the only blue blood that has lost to a military academy 4 or 5 times since 2000.
But they're the only blue blood that's playing military academies on a regular
You're
basis
right.
to
You just
further
nailed it.
tradition.
True, but do you really
Right.
think Navy would go into Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama?
They
Really?
couldn't go to. They didn't have enough courage to go to Marshall and rematch their loss against Marshall at home last year. Marshall beat them at Notre Dame.
Is I'm willing to make a bet that Marshall doesn't go to USC and beat USC. Marshall doesn't go to Alabama and beat Alabama. They don't go to Oklahoma and beat Oklahoma.
I think they do that. I think they would go to.
Ho. Stop right there, Hunter. Didn't Georgia Southern beat Marshall and Georgia Southern beat Alabama? So don't go there. We're not hearing that bullshit.
I mean, if you want me to be honest, Notre Dame, the year that Notre Dame lost to Navy the first time in like 80 years, Navy lost to University of Delaware the week before they beat Notre Dame. So you could say that University of Delaware and FCS school could have beaten Notre Dame.
Okay, so let me ask you about another game this weekend. And yeah, I'm anti this one, and I give my reasons. Vanderbilt, Hawaii.
I think Vanderbilt actually goes has a big season this year. I think they actually are a 7 or 8 win team.
I agree with you. I think their coach is a genius, man. Have you ever listened to that talk? I mean, he's.
So y'all
What's
think
that?
Vanderbilt beats Hawaii? Y'all think Vanderbilt beats Hawaii this weekend?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
I think it's actually going to be.
Okay. Do you think it's a blowout?
Yes.
It was last year.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother year.
Does Vanderbilt
Well, I mean, it is, but I doubt it a lot has really changed between these two programs.
Actually, by Vanderbilt standards, they've had a good recruiting class. It may be not a top 25, but by their standards, it's a great recruiting class.
You're correct. By their standards.
And they have very low standards there, except for admission, though, and that's kind of why they have such a poor turnout.
Hold on, Shannon. It's low this year. It's only 28,000. That's kind of low for an SEC school.
No, I mean it may be, but they're not a big football school. But let me ask you a question: Does Vanderbilt play Auburn?
Yes, this year, November 4th.
I will make a bet. I'll make a bet. I will tattoo
whatever I want on your body.
I will tattoo Auburn's
No.
player that you see on my ass. If you guys, I win. But you have to be if you agree to me that Auburn doesn't beat Vanderbilt by more than 14 points.
Okay. I will make this deal with you under one circumstance.
All right.
I get to pick the tattoo you get.
Sure.
Hunter, I will say
Hold on,
this.
What does Hunter have to do if
What does he get?
this goes the other way?
Yeah. What he has to do? Hey, you gotta. I want you to smile with your teeth like this. And I'm gonna,
Oh shit!
And I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it my Facebook profile, the College Bulldogs profile for a day.
Okay. That's a deal.
All right.
Remember, you got to get whatever tattoo I want, and it's got to be visible so people can see it.
Kenneth, I just want to tell you, I'm looking right at the screen, and this it's trying to remove your Auburn hat. It keeps going away. It just
Clean the shit off.
No. Yeah. That's much better. Much better.
Fuck you, Shannon.
Gotta take the shit off his head, man.
No, I don't think I want to.
He calls.
So, why won't him make? Hold on.
Kenny, I gotta ask a question because I've let y'all go on for a minute, but I do have to ask you a question. I was watching a press conference that was released a few days ago. Hugh Freeze was talking about that last fall scrimmage that y'all had down there. Can we talk about that just for a quick second?
Yeah,
because his main complaint during the press conference was the SEC officiating. At his fucking scrimmage game, he was bitching on camera to actual reporters, not us, not people like us. I mean, we're degenerates. Actual real reporters with like degrees and recorders and shit, and told them that he was unhappy with the officiating at his fucking scrimmage game. Well, they were throwing flags everywhere. We're going to have to look at the film on that. Are you fucking serious with this shit? That's Hugh Freeze. Pussy slinger Hugh Freeze is up there talking on a fucking camera that he's talking that shit. Y'all letting him talk that shit.
Well, let me ask you this question then.
Is that right? Is that right? Can we do that? Can y'all do that?
Yeah,
At the money you're paying him, and he's going to be making excuses. Well, we look flat. I mean, I'm not used to playing in that size stadium, but and the stadium's empty. Maybe they'll do a little better when it's. Man, are you fucking serious with this shit? That was not the press conference that I expected to see. I was shocked.
Well, you know that's Hugh Freeze for you. But since when the deals are making bets?
Are you? No. You're not just gonna skim over just like that. Oh, that's Hugh Freeze for you. I mean, are you fucking serious right now? In the condition that Auburn, the state of Auburn football, and how much that it has been drugged down, and Brian Harsin, who in the right mind thought that was a great idea? But okay, it is what it is. It's gone now. But I mean, that's not, man. I mean, seriously. And when Hugh Freeze came onto the scene down at Auburn, man, he took that podium, and I mean, he was again whipping his dick around, knocking the lamp over, knocking into the mic, hitting the reporter on the front row. Oh my God, Hugh Freeze is saving Auburn football. And then he comes out with this shit, bitching about the officiating at a fucking scrimmage game. Oh man.
Hey, look.
You better hope he shows out this year. And I'm not talking about no 7 and 8 Gus Malzahn, Gus Bus bullshit.
We'll win 9. We'll win 9, Shannon.
What makes you confident of that? Have you looked at that schedule?
We beat Georgia and Alabama. Man, we beat Georgia and Alabama.
Okay, this is where I told Kenny, you're going 4 and 7 this year, maybe 3 and 8. Just
okay. So
no. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I mean, but I think the ceiling for Auburn is the absolute top of the ceiling is 8 wins.
Shannon,
Shannon, hold on.
Wait. Kenneth thinks that and this is a great smacking off epiphany for Kenny right now. Did you know that Kenny thinks that people that are signing right now this year, like someone, let's just say someone signed to Auburn last year, he thinks they're actually going to play this year?
Did we lose him?
Oh, he logged out. He logged out.
I meant backstage.
He tapped out. He tapped out.
No, I didn't. That's because my phone caught. Look, this is what I gotta say. No,
that looks
shut up.
much better.
All of y'all
right
are
now.
saying 7, 8 wins. All I got to say is
where's your
put your mouth where your money's at. I will go with any of you, Dr. Ball, Shannon, Hunter. I've already got a bet with Colin. I take 8.
I don't
Y'all
bet.
take 7.
It's against my religion. I'm a religious man. I don't bet. I can't gamble.
Bets.
I refuse.
I won't
refuse to
Dr. Ball.
be drugged down by the powers of Satan. Get thee behind me.
I want Dr. Boss, Mr. 7 wins. We'll go 7.5, so there's no tie. 8 wins, I win. 7 wins, you win. 7 or less, you win. 8 or more, I win. You got to cut your hair and be bald like me.
If I lose, I'll quit going to the dentist. Right? You know what I'm saying?
No, if you lose, you cut your hair just like me.
Okay, I'll do that. I don't mind to do it because I'm a hippie, right? And I've been a hippie for a long time, so you know how that
goes.
It's
time for you to be a Nazi. It's time for you to be a neo-Nazi.
So when Auburn wins 8 wins,
Get put on a list somewhere.
He gets on smacking off and shaves his hair.
Slave, Cecil. Anyway, I'm going to ask you something, Kenneth. Now, do you think that Hugh Freeze, are they going to provide him young hoes, or is he going to have to go find them, right? And if they object, right? If they object, is he going to get over, right, like Donald Trump, or are they going to put the screws to him?
Where's your brother?
He probably already got him. I mean, let's just be honest.
Let me tell y'all something. Has anybody other than Kenny in this chat been to Opelika? All you got to do is hang around the Opelika Walmart, typically between 2 and 5, and there is single mother. Now look, I'm not saying the pickings are always going to be great, but there's going to be at least 1 to 3 doable women wander through there in and around those hours while they're children.
Shannon, what do you know about Opelika Walmart, buddy?
What do you know about what I know about?
I want to know what you know about Opelika Walmart, buddy.
I'll have Auburn shirts on too. You'll have the Auburn shirts on too.
No. Hugh is gonna have Hugh will probably have to wear a fake mustache, fake goatee, probably a toupee with a visor on it, kind of like Kirby Smart does.
Shannon, don't avoid my question, buddy. What do you know about Opelika Walmart, buddy? You must have been down there and got you a couple once or twice.
Can I finish talking, please? Because you just all up in my business. I don't come down to where you work and slap the dick out of your mouth. Now, do I?
No, but you're the one that brought up Opelika Walmart, not me.
Well, I'm getting to that. Man, why is look, Kenny. One thing you're going to have to understand, and one thing that you need to realize, is that after Auburn loses to Cal, we're probably not going to need you on the show for the rest of the season.
Right, that's probably right. Yeah.
Man, y'all are crazy if you think we lose to Cal. Y'all are crazy.
No, I mean it's a possibility.
What do you think?
We need to talk about
explain
that.
to me.
Look,
Hold on.
think about that.
Explain
the
to me
whole
how.
time zone thing. It's 2 hours. I mean, what is that going to be like? What kickoff is that going to be like? 2-3 o'clock kickoff or something like that?
No, it's a 7 kickoff here and whatever it is out there with them.
Oh, that'll be 3 o'clock for them, right?
We played Cal last year. USC did. They played us. They played Caleb Williams really, really tough. We actually almost lost to Cal.
True story.
And
you got Cal, don't you, Hunter?
I do. I have Cal winning the first game. Yeah, I actually think it's not going to be any. I don't even think it's going to be close. I just think this year is a big rebuilding year for Auburn. New head coaching staff. I think people kind of say, well.
Now, to be fair though, don't you think that Auburn hasn't accomplished anything in the transfer portal? I mean, there's going to be some talent on both sides of the ball there.
But they did, but it wasn't like for a big turnaround. You need some. And again, I'm a USC fan, but you need something. You got to do something with what Lincoln Riley did. You brought in Caleb Williams. You brought in Jordan Addison. We're not talking about mid guys that are good coming in. You're talking about the number one quarterback, the number one wide receiver. You know, we had Bear Alexander was a 5-star, Anthony Lucas. They're fundamental changes in the program right away. You go from a 4-8 season to 11-2 great in 1 year. I don't see Auburn doing that like USC did last year. I think Auburn is in more of a rebuilding mode. You know, put it this way, hey Doug, if Caleb Williams did not start for USC, I think USC last year would have been 500, 600 team. I don't even think they would have. I don't even think they'd be close to even 8 wins last year. Again, Auburn doesn't have a guy like Caleb Williams that can make an immediate impact and just make them go, you know, beat everybody like Kenneth does. The interesting part is Kenneth. When I first met Kenneth about 3 months ago, he said that Auburn was going to win the national championship this year.
Now,
No. Don't put words in my mouth. I said 2025 in Atlanta.
Hey, calm down. Now, which county jail did the two of y'all meet in?
Well, we met with Donald Trump over there at the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta, Georgia.
He had to check in. I think he immediately bonded out, got to see the mug shot, and he made the same face that we've all made when we got a mug shot. He made the same exact face we all make when we get a mug shot.
He made that face so it'll go well on the T-shirt.
I mean, yeah.
Blood. He's shitting blood after you met Kenny.
Hey, Doug, you know who's going to be selling that T-shirt, right?
Yeah,
him.
He is.
Yeah, he's going to make some money out of this deal. He makes money out of every deal.
Well, his marketing person, I know for a fact, probably told them, "Hey, this is the face you need to do," and then we're just going to make shirts out of it. It's an easy marketing.
They rehearsed this yesterday.
Yes, they
that
did.
picture in black and white.
He tried 10 different faces, and they looked at all of them, and they picked one.
Yeah. But man, that picture on a black and white T-shirt. You don't need any caption whatsoever. That's an iconic T-shirt. I'd buy that T-shirt.
That's like Johnny Cash flipping off the world. That T-shirt, it's the same idea. I love it.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Does anybody have anything to add?
Fuck Auburn. That's pretty much it for me.
All right, fuck Alabama.
Kenneth, I have a great dentist down in Auburn. He can visit you tomorrow to get the teeth done, but you know there are some guys here in LA that would love to see you at a red light. So,
hey, I got something to say, and I'm directing this. I'm directing this at Shannon.
Okay.
I don't want to hear your lip talk no smack after Thanksgiving. That's all I got to say to you. I don't want to hear your lips. I don't want to hear nothing out your mouth
I'm gonna be saying quite a bit
I just
after
want
that Cal game. I can promise you that.
Yeah. You're gonna be like, damn, I was wrong. But
I
I'm
ain't even
just
gotta
telling you,
wait till Thanksgiving. I promise you, I will not have to wait till Thanksgiving.
when Auburn beats Cal, I'm telling you after the Iron Bowl, you can just keep them DSLs quiet, okay?
If you lose to Jimbo Fisher, I'm gonna piss myself. I will go ahead and I'll film it for use on the show. I'll wear a very sexy pair of underwear and I'm gonna piss it when I see that final score. I'm gonna show the final score.
So you
and then I'm
think-
gonna show me pissing in my panties.
So you
My
think?
pretty panties. My
How
pretty
did you
pissy
go
panties.
from Cal to A&M?
Because those are 2 losses for Auburn.
Yeah, you're wrong. You're
You dirty bitch.
How about this? Shannon? Since you think it's both losses, when Auburn wins both of them, you just don't say nothing else about Auburn until after the Auburn Bowl.
I'm not pissing my pretty panties unless they lose.
Okay.
So, I'm laying that on the table right now.
Oh, so if they win, what are you gonna do?
I don't know. I'll probably break sobriety.
He said, "I'll break sobriety." Wow.
One day at a time, brother.
One day at a time. We got to get through. We got to get through this weekend first.
My name's Shannon, and I'm an alcoholic. You're supposed to say hi, Shannon.
Hi, Shannon.
You've been to court, you know.
Hi, Shannon.
Good night, Shannon, Doug. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate and welcome to the College Football Dogs world. This is like the Howard Stern of our universe. And
No, you got it wrong. This is Jerry Springer and Howard Stern mixed together.
Jerry sucks. This is like Howard. I love this. Hey, guess what? Doug has the better voice than Howard Stern. Let's.
That's right.
No, you're talking about Shannon. No, it's you meant Shannon.
No, he meant you, Doug.
Shannon. I'm sorry. Yeah,
all right, guys, I'm gonna try to do this outro.
Knows what goes on behind closed doors.
Thank you for supporting Smacking Off the Podcast and College Football Dogs. And don't forget to stream in each Sunday evening for a live episode at 9 p.m. Eastern.